This week on Media Delta, Parappa the Rapper. Just because the rhythm is slow doesn't mean it gets any better. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Media Delta. We have what hopefully would be an interesting one. Talking about a anime that is based off of Parappa the Rapper. You know that because Parappa the Rapper is very character driven and very interestingly designed. So you'd figure that actually making a show out of it would probably be kind of interesting. Um, we'll see if that's actually accurate. And I watched this with a few other people. So in alphabetical order, go introduce yourselves.
Hi, this is Carvel. And punch, kick, it's all in the mind. Watching the show was a waste of time.
I'm Torpid Typist, and I'm here just to say that wow, it's incredible how you can strip such interesting characters of any and all personality.
Yeah, the show's not that great. It's kind of surprising actually. Because the thing is, I actually remember watching this like at least a little bit early, like a few years ago. Um, like more than a few years ago, but like relatively close to when it originally aired. And like I think it came through like a fan dub or something I watched on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this kind of seemed interesting." They kind of have some weird, quirky things going on. Then I hadn't watched it for a while, and then I rewatched it for this, and did not have the same experience that I did back then. I don't know what changed in my taste that made me like it because as we go into, we don't exactly have high thoughts on this. So let's just go into the questions. So, Carnival, what were your general impressions and what episode do you want to talk about? Oh, actually,
Uh,
before you answer that, just to point out, so originally, we were doing series, I kind of want to do like 7 or 8 per um, chunk. We got through 4 this time. The specific episodes we watched were episode 1, The Initial P, episode 7, You Sure Are Bourgeois, episode 13, Acho Acho, in episode 23, which is Like a Surfer. Um, so back to you, Carnival. What are your general impressions? And what
the
episode
show
do you
is
want to talk about?
bad, and it's just it can't do anything. It just this is a music. Perhaps Rapper was a rhythm game, one of the big rhythm games that kind of started a lot of trends with that. You'd think that a series would this kind of be filled with a bunch of music, but no, it's just devoid of all of that. Specifically, I want to talk about episode Acho Acho was the one where they Master Onion shows up, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So literally, you think he's gonna just do the fucking bit, the thing that everyone remembers about this game from the first song, but no, it just goes to oh, they have the punch kick, but it's in the a oh, this is an actual lesson, and just repeating it without any sort of energy or anything into it.
Yeah, no, you think he's gonna burst into some sort of song, but no, it's just he just says it without any sort of rhythm, and he just like casually goes through it, and it's like, ah, I see.
It's just so frustrating because it's how do you how do you miss the simplest thing?
Yeah, it's kind of surprising how you can not understand what makes your thing charming when trying to put it to something else. This did that in spades, and it's kind of annoying because
Also,
you
mm,
you could do a show based on the Parappa universe and have it be good. This chose not to.
yeah, no, it's really good because that same episode was also he went around the world and did various dealt with various stereotypes basically. One of which was in Africa with the Kilimanjaro chop, and they keep repeating that over and over as if it's funny that they're saying gyro and not jaro.
Yes,
Ugh.
it's not good. Um, yeah. Also, I should mention this only came out in Japan. I don't even think it got the only way you can watch this in English are through fan subs, which is great because watching this on YouTube, for some reason there were 2 kind of blocks, and the theme for the second block got muted almost all the time. Uh, except for the weird thing is that the first one didn't, even though I'm pretty sure they're both licensed song, but I think the first one's from a more well-known artist, which is Nona Reeves. That the one thing I will say is that the first intro song is really good.
I mean, the second one isn't bad. It's just a different feel that I preferred the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Torpo, what about you?
Uh, I mean, I could talk about any episodes, but
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about a specific episode because really in the same thing, they all kind of blended together.
no, I will say I'll talk about. So, the first episode is a great way to start a franchise, start a series by being boring as shit and incoherent. But I'm gonna go with the fourth episode we watched, Like a Surfer, which is entirely about them trying to help the frog get find this girl that he was pining for. The big reveal at the end is that it was actually a wave from when he was a former surfer, and it's like, wow, this was a waste of time.
Yes.
I have never felt so completely like something was a waste of time than I have when watching the end of that episode.
Also, it just so happened to turn out that the episodes that I picked, also were the few episodes that actually had the characters from the game in it. Because Acho Ocho has Chop Top After Under, and Like a Surfer has Prince Flea Swallow, and I didn't realize it, but the other one that we mentioned had actually had oh, what's his name, Chief Puddle from Unjammer Lammy. Also,
Yep.
Lammy appears for a very brief instant in the first episode, and it's kind of annoying because her Lammy's actually a much better character.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I definitely do not disagree with either Torpor or Carnival. This just watching this just felt draining. Like it's nothing happens in like the most boring possible way. It's like if the boring parts of Salamander were the entire thing.
Yeah, like I cannot even remember what happened in episode 1 or 7. You are so bourgeois. Like it I can't remember any of it. It
I can
blended.
remember. I can
It
remember.
blended so
I,
completely.
I remember. Okay, so I remember that one because the thing was so stupid. That
Oh,
was the one
you
with the
mean
Chief
trying
Puddle
to
in it.
kill the kids?
Oh yeah, there's that part. Also, the general plot summary is that there is Chief Puddle is in love with a girl that her father will not let her marry him because he's a fighter. So you think that there's some weird class thing. No, it is because the girl's daughter or father, for some reason, whenever sees firefighters, pisses himself.
It's
That's the
really
entire
weird
thing.
and
Yeah.
gross.
It's and also and then there's a forest fire that pops out, and they're on a helicopter that for some, and then the fire or Chief Puddle finds the girl in the forest and jumps out of the helicopter, leaving Parappa to fly it.
Like, I'll admit that last bit was the actually only like genuine laugh I got out of there because Parappa then goes into an imagined spot about flying in a helicopter, and then Sonny asks, "So have you flies before?" "Yeah, at the arcade," and then
Yeah,
proceeds to save the day by crashing into a dam and causing a flood. Like,
yeah,
I actually got a genuine laugh out of that, but that's in spite of everything.
yeah. It's just not interesting at all. Yeah. So going further into that, Torpo, how'd you feel about the setting slash characters
They existed.
that they did?
And the setting wasn't even really a setting, and the characters existed.
What which the funny thing about that is the fact that the characters that they're just in this, they're so flat.
Lifeless. Yeah, they are all very one
Which
note.
which is ironic considering that in the actual game they are literally flat. But
Yeah, that's
that's
the
beside
other
the
thing
point.
too, is it takes the really interesting graphical style of Parappa, that sort of flat 3D, and it just turns it into like a normal cartoon style.
Yeah. Like it's funny 'cause, like the intro has a little bit of it, but not in the actual show. It's just a show. Like you could probably make it with literally any other set of characters. Also, actually, I'll let Carlo go on because I don't know if he might have the same thoughts I did.
Well, where are you gonna go on about it?
So my thing is basically this show really likes its original characters,
Yeah, it's
which
kind of annoying.
yeah, it's because there's like two main original characters that are the girl whose name I forgot. I think it's Paula, and
Yeah,
then
Paula, and then Matt.
then the guy who's just Matt, who just they're basically taken from a children's cartoon They're just there,
They're just there.
Hmm.
but the show really likes to make them focus on things. Um, but Carly, do you have any other thoughts on settings/characters?
Not really, because we've covered. It's just
Yeah. Um, so next question I had is how do you manage to make a Parappa the Rapper anime boring? And it's just because I honestly, because normally I like to think I'm like, oh, what are some questions that had to do with the show? I could think of that one, and that was it. I literally put in the note where I usually think of another question. I honestly can't think of another question because it's great because the last couple of episodes we've had of this, we've gone super long. I have a feeling this is going to be the shortest episode we've had. We're going to have for a long while because there's
Yeah.
just really nothing to talk about.
No, it's just so completely devoid of life. It just turned into this really generic cartoon, and it's frustrating. Like, I'm not even that big a fan of Parappa, and this fucking hurts me to see. Because they've just taken everything about Parappa and stripped it away. The personality's gone, the music's gone, the look and the feel are gone, and it's just what's left over is this hollowed out husk.
Yeah. Because the thing I went and looked up some of the people who did that actually like worked on this, and the main director of this is one uh Hiroaki Sakurai, who's done a lot of works, but a lot of it is relatively not that well known, other than say um Digikara Digikara. And the thing that actually is kind of disappointing me is that actually one of my favorite anime is he was the director on that is Cromartie High School, which is a very good series, which makes you wonder like what happened with this one.
Uh, the answer is a lack of time and budget,
That's probably it.
and probably bad direction from on high.
Yeah, because that's also a thing is that so Rodney Allen Greenblatt, who is the guy who originally created like the characters Parappa and like all of like the main characters from that game, he basically designed all the characters in this show. But then once he designed it, he's like, nope, we don't need you for anything else. You're not going to be involved in the process at all. So it's great. Um, it and apparently the thing that also annoys me is the fact that apparently he was going to be involved in a series that involved Lammy and like the character from Lammy. And it was going to be more aimed at like teens because apparently the show is just directly aimed for children. But that never happened, and I bet you that's really annoying because that actually could have been actually interesting. But yeah, and there's 30 episodes of this.
oh my god.
Um, so I think we've already
What
covered
about
it.
you? I was gonna
So
say,
go
what
ahead.
about you, Carnival? Do you have anything? Any other thoughts?
Not really. It's it would just turn into us complaining in circles, honestly. So
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah. So just go through the other like the other standard questions. How do you feel this used elements of the game?
who starts?
Anyone, because we all have the same answer probably. The
I
answer is
think
no.
Carnival. Do you want to say something? Because like I'm gonna go on a
yeah.
fucking tangent.
No, it didn't use any elements. It was no, sorry. They used the punch kick once in the worst way. So there, they did something, but didn't completely ruin it just by not actually doing it.
So Zorpo, you have the
Okay,
floor.
so it once again it stripped away the actual like interesting art style, which I can understand. That'd be a fucking nightmare to animate. Whatever, fuck that. But more importantly, it stripped away the music. Like at no point do they actually bring up any sort of like sort of rapper or song or anything like that. The only music in the game is in the game in the show is purely background, and some of it's like kind of okay. Others not so much. And the best song is the fucking title screen, which is a title screen. Wow,
You
title
just
theme.
you just really want to play the game instead. That's just how
I
much the
don't
show
want to
is
play the game.
irrelevant.
That's the problem. But
Yeah.
the best song is the title theme, which is a fucking Nona Reeves song and has nothing to do with Parappa. And it's so you just have this frustrating situation where none of the game is really used, just the designs and names, and it's frustrating to an incredible degree. Because like as Carnival said, at one point they built up, it felt like they were doing punch kick, and then it's just the rest of it fell flat, and they just did nothing with it. And at no point does anything even remotely related to the games, music wise or otherwise, happen. It's just all this really bland slice of life show for kids.
Yep. Yeah, I just fully agree that there's yeah. there's nothing else to say. Um, I feel like I know the answer to this question. Do you feel that this is a complement or supplement to the game?
It's a detriment.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
detriment.
yep, it's a detriment. If you play the game, because dude, exactly what I did. You played the game, like, oh, this will be interesting. Watch the thing, and you're going to be mad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or if you watch this first, you'd have no expectations for Parappa. None.
If you watch
Wouldn't
this
care.
first, you'd never touch the games.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Look on the. Maybe it works as the opposite. It's like, oh, you actually play the games. Like, holy shit, this is way better.
Yeah, once you realize that the game is the actual playing it is completely meaningless, much like this show.
God.
All right, I mean, I guess let's just actually
Wow,
let's just rank this.
It's
Fucking-
I would like to point out on my recording, this is at 19 minutes right now. But the last couple we've gone for over an hour. So let's actually rank this. So going to do this through our normal ranking system. We have a 1 to 21 ranking, with 1 being absolute mastercraft, the bottom being 21, which is completely don't even bother watching it. So let's just do you want to just 3, 2, 1 this, or do we actually want to go through the dog and pony if each giving it us?
we got to do the process. The process is
yeah, the
important.
process is important.
Okay, Carnival, what's your number?
21.
Yep, Torpo, what's your number?
21 because it is genuinely so like a lot of I have mixed feelings in some of the 21s just because like some of it's really bad, but it could have been more. Like I still think fucking
Megami
Panzer
Tensei?
Dragoon should have been like a 20. But like this is genuinely there is nothing about this show that is worth watching. It is
Yeah.
not worth it all.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think it deserves 21 because it's not even like a good watch in the background kind of thing, because it was just like it took away focus from anything I was working on at that in the background, because it's like I have in the one thing, it's like, oh, maybe something interesting is going to happen, and nope, never does.
Like, legit, like, when you're watching this, I kind of started doing other shit, and, like, I felt like I didn't miss a single beat. Like, we're watching this, and we're subtitles, none of us really can speak Japanese well. It's like, yeah, I get where this is doing, I don't feel like doesn't feel good. It's no good. It's not good at all.
Yeah, it just sucks. It sucks real bad. So let's see. So it's a kid. It is a kid show. Tone? Say whimsical.
Whimsical is what they're trying to go for.
I think that's the best case that we have so far. So, is there anything we want to call out for music, charm, cinematography, theatrics, or story,
Can we
action,
give it the
and art?
anti-charm?
I can, in fact, put this nice little world icon in the nay, which says that everything about it's bad.
Yes.
Also, don't forget to put oatmeal for nay.
Yep. Yep. So we will mark it that is incredibly bland.
It's really, really budget.
And
Like,
like
it's-
or it could be good. It's just this isn't.
Yeah, that's the other thing we didn't really mention is that it's not really animated well and it doesn't really look good. The colors are nice, but that's about the most of it.
Yeah. It sucks. It just sucks.
It sucks the life out of you, is what it does.
Yeah. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is for all the individual charms is I'm going to. So I'm pretty sure I had like disappointing, wasted potential. Yes, that's what I have for all these, because let's see, music could have been a lot better than what it was, despite
It wasn't bad, but also it wasn't Parappa.
yes, the charm also disappointing, because I mean, you could have done something really neat with it.
There's a reason everyone remembers Parappa.
Cinematography, you could have also done something interesting. Instead of just doing a cartoon, you could have done something else. It's a story, you could go weird places, because that like, think about like all the places that Unjammer Lammy goes and how weird that goes.
You
could
went
go
to
some-
hell.
Yeah. Action, any action that is there is kind of bad. Also, one of the other things is that it tends to go on tangents, because there's a character they added called Gaster, who's basically like the guy who just does mischief all the time. And they go into weird tangents with him that go absolutely nowhere.
Okay, remember
Yeah.
that time he stole a bike and then nobody cared?
Yeah, and then it took like
That's-
1/3 of the episode. Yeah. Art, that is also disappointing, because you could have done so much more with it.
It feels really bland.
And yeah, that's really all there is about Parappa the Rapper. It's also great because I was originally planning on doing 2 sets of this, and we will definitely not be doing 2 sets of this, because we couldn't even finish a full set At least,
Yeah.
because the other 21 we have in here is Panzer Dragoon. That at least had the mercy of being like 45
I feel
minutes.
like that should be a 20 though.
Yeah, I really actually, you know what? I'm gonna make an executive decision. That's getting 20 now.
Because like that was just a case of not enough money or time allotted. This
Like,
is
that
just
had
not
ambition.
worth watching. Yeah.
Like, congratulations, Panzer Dragoon. We found something so bad that you retroactively are better by comparison.
We hit the floor so hard it caused any other 21s to bounce up. except for Megami Tensei, you could.
That's still bad. Nope, that's still bad.
That's still bad. Like,
Yep.
I enjoyed it, but that was bad.
Yeah. All right. So that's that done in record speed.
It helps
yeah.
that we were down a person, but
I don't think that would have helped.
no, probably not.
Yeah.
Pour one out for your boy Stove.
Yeah. I'll feel better. Anyway. So yes, that is going to do it for Parappa the Rapper. So before we go, Carnival, is there anything you want to plug?
I'd like to plug my podcast with that both Lolo and Torpid are on, the Daft Dice Project. You can follow it on Twitter at Daft Dice Pod. It's an actual play podcast that's focusing on doing games that aren't D&D or derivative.
Yep. So, anything else? All right. What about you, Torpo?
Twitch.tv/TorpidTypist and at TorpidTypist on Twitter. And what I'd like to plug is this fucking gaping hole letting out all the time that I no longer have after watching this.
Yes. All right. So yes, it for Parappa. Next time we have, I can guarantee you, a much better thing, because we are covering the movie Aliens. It has aliens, multiple.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, you see the S is a 2. It's really clever.
Yeah. Also, there's more than one alien this time.
It's
Spoiler.
true.
Yes. So yeah, that is going to do it for this. So thank you all for watching or listening.
Haha!
At least I caught myself this time. This has been another episode of Media Delta. If you would like to view the entire list of rankings for yourself, you can go to r3.ldp.life to see the Resonance and Essence list that Media Delta covers, as well as the other lists that are covered by our sister show, Retro Rank Rhapsody. If you'd like to watch Retro Rank Rhapsody, you can watch it live on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Twitch at twitch.tv/loadedpuzzlo. Or you can view any of the episodes anytime at youtube.ldp.life. If you would like to help with hosting costs, you can go to patreon.ldp.life and help out with a $2 or $5 pledge. If you would like to discuss this episode and any other episode of our community, you can join our Discord server at discord.ldp.life. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can follow it at Hazeltown Story, or you can follow me, your host, at LoloDePuzzlo. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come back for around for the next episode.